what happens when you bring a wolf and a human together? Every day at Wolf Connection, we let wolves and teens come together to learn and heal. The wolves, the 28 wolves that form our pack at the ranch, have been bred in captivity and sold as pets to later experience some form of abuse or neglect. So we rescue them, rehabilitate them, and give them a forever home at the ranch. The young men and women that come to our wolf therapy programs have also experienced some form of physical and emotional abuse and neglect coming from foster care, probation, and substance abuse facilities. So in our programs, they connect with the wolves through their ability to overcome obstacles, and that bonding starts a new story of hope and possibilities. For example, the wolf in this picture, her name is Miko, and she was surrendered to us shortly after I started Wolf Connection in 2009. She was 95 pounds, unsocialized, and unpredictable. So she would not have the typical body language that wolves had. I mean, she would not give warning the same way other wolves would. So she would be friendly, and then when she would feel uncomfortable, she would give some very short, subtle cues and then bite. Obviously, we had to work with her. So we worked with her, our team worked with her for about 2 years. And finally, we decided that she was ready to be part of one of our hikes with the general public. So here we are, giving following our safety protocols and telling people it's Miko's first time, and you should keep your distance. It's a no-touch policy. But Miko had different plans. And so as the hike started, she threw herself on the ground, belly up, wagging her tail, right? And in such a friendly way that we allowed the public to approach her, and she ended up surrounded by people petting her. So that was the beginning. And Miko, over time, became one of the most extraordinary and impactful program animals we've ever had. She had the power to affect and open the hearts of anyone that came in contact with her. The young man in the picture, his name is Tom, and Tom came to us at 16 after being expelled from school and arrested for selling drugs. So his probation officer and the expulsion school he was attending at the time decided to give him a second chance and sent him to our 8-week program. So at the beginning, Tom was quiet. The wolf can have that effect. But we could tell that he wanted to do things differently this time. Nonetheless, he was speaking and joking out of turn, pretending to be uninterested and unimpressed, missing homework. But we could tell he was carrying a heavy story. And just like Miko, he would be friendly and then suddenly bite. So at Wolf Connection, we don't ask the youth to share their story. They have enough people in their lives helping them that way. Foster care parents, probation officer, social worker, psychologist. Instead, we focus on the wolf story and let the kid connect and relate. As humans, we have a deep need for connection and physical touch that unfortunately many people do not get, and some of these young people get through the wrong channels in the way of physical and sexual abuse. But there's something very profound about the physical contact with an animal, and particularly with a wolf. So as part of the program here, our Wolf Connection, Tom and his classmates produced a video project. So they picked the topic of wolf conservation. They wrote the script, operated the camera, and operated the lights and microphones. So let's see what happens when you put a wolf and a human together.
A lot of people have misconceptions when it comes to wolves. Like, you see this big creature right here. Well, I don't think of it as a creature, but a lot of people will. And you take a look at its posture and how big it is, and you would automatically be scared of it. But in reality, it's just a loving creature. It just wants to be loved, like anybody and anything else. It just wants to be loved. It wants to be. It wants to be loved, and it wants to be accepted. That's all it will do to you, is lick you. It give you lots of hair. That's all you should be not even afraid of, but aware of. If you really want to help, that's love right there.
So Miko had the ability to love everyone, especially those with the hardest pain. As they continue bonding, Miko and Tom began saying things like, this is the best day of my life. Or, I know Miko's waiting for me, so I need to come. And Miko did not care. I'm going to put Miko again. There. Miko did not care where Tom was coming from, what he had done. He didn't care, what he's been through. All he cared about was who Tom was in his heart at that moment. That portion of the video became part of an award-winning documentary, Medicine of the Wolf, and changed Tom's life. It gave him a new sense of purpose and direction, but most importantly, it gave him a sense of belonging. From being the lost child, feeling rejected, Tom became the deliberate, strong man that ran with the wolf. Right? The deliberate young man that ran with the wolves. So, I remember the time that he said, Miko has taught me to shake it off. He taught me to let go of my past and make room for new things in my life. As he finished our program, he went on to completing high school. He went to study film production, and he's now working full-time. So why is wolf therapy so effective? It turns out that the wolf is the first animal we ever associated with. So our ancestors and tribes and indigenous cultures around the world revere and respect the wolf. So we're talking about the Celtics and Druids from Europe, the people from the Siberian plains, India, Tibet, northern China, Mongolia, the people from the central and northern Mexico, and of course, all the wolf clans among tribes all across North America. They regard the wolf as the symbol for strength and courage and transcendence and healing and family and teamwork. Some of them refer to the wolf as the great teacher. And science tells us that our ancestors began literally running with wolves about 135,000 years ago. And we began incorporating the wolf lifestyle. And we began imitating their social rituals in the following ways. So family and social structure. You know, the model of the small village or the extended family actually operates like a wolf pack. You know, we have this sharing of parenting responsibilities. The mating pair, the parents, do not always raise their offspring. Sometimes it's the elder and the youth raising the offspring as the strong parents are out hunting and protecting. Hunting, you know, the specialized hunting techniques that put the human at the top of the food chain are actually wolf techniques, right? So the ability to hunt in groups, the ability to share risk and coordinate. In terms of herding, wolves have been traveling with and herding the reindeer for about 1 million years. And it seems like around 30 to 40,000 years ago, we got the memo, and we began incorporating the wolf lifestyle as pastoralists, both feeding from and protecting the herds of reindeer. Dwelling, you know, we descend from tree-dwelling apes. The wolves live in caves and in dens that they dig. So really, having a house, the concept of having a house, is actually a wolf concept. And lastly, ethics and morality. You know, over the millennia, we have moved away from the the Machiavellian and opportunistic way of exhibited by the apes, or hopefully some of us did, to the more democratic, collaborative, and loyal ways practiced by wolves. So it seems that what we call humanness was actually created by wolves. So we may very well owe our success as a species to the wolf. Yet, over the last few hundred years, we've been on a wolf hunt. Superstition and folk horror stories that started in Europe around the time of the Inquisition have buried ancestral knowledge and wisdom with centuries of ignorance, confusion, and fear that nearly led us to extinguish the species. Now, Glenn Schiffman, and a tribal ceremonial leader and author and a member of the Iroquois wolf clan, he told me that the Iroquois have a traditional greeting, Nia we skeno, Nia we skeno, which means something on the lines of, thank you for being people who is not adding to the confusion on this planet. Thank you for being people who's not adding to the confusion on this planet. So where are we going from here? I propose that we rebrand the wolf. It is time to give the wolf, to reinstate the wolf to the rightful place in the world. Not only to protect a majestic animal whose existence is critical to ecological balance and sustainability, but also to preserve a living legacy that can better help us understand, as human beings, where we're coming from, and more importantly, where are we going. So, for example, in the same way as we have the polar bear as the symbol for global warming awareness, and we have the dove as the symbol for peace, I propose that we rebrand the wolf as the symbol for the healing of the human heart. The symbol for the healing of the human heart. Wolf Wapepa, a tribal leader, shared with me a story that is told among the people of the Longhouse. He said that before humans had fire, men and wolves shared a friendship stronger and deeper than what humans and dogs experience today. Deeper friendship. But there was a fallout. And the details of the fallout have been lost, but it's known that it's been the human's fault. Shocker. After that, the creator of all things decided that the wolf and the human would no longer be brothers, but the link could not be fully broken. So from that day forth, the wolf nation and the two-legged nation would share a common destiny. And whatever happened to one nation, it will happen to the other. So, as long as there are wolves, there will be men. Thank you.